What a life, what a life. I can't believe that this is my life. What a life, what a life. But I never trade for anybody else's life.
Where are you off to?
Edit.
Ah, you're editing.
Yeah.
A little film you did.
Little film, buddy. Little film that you're in.
That's The Cobbler.
The Cobbler, right, right.
We did a movie called The Cobbler.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
About a cobbler.
Am I still in the movie?
You're still in the movie. You're hanging on by a thread, but
Yeah,
you're still in there.
Do you enjoy the editing process?
Yeah, I do. It's quiet. It's very relaxed. Unless I go to work late, like right now.
Some directors like to reshape their movie in the editing room.
Yeah.
Do you find that to be true?
On the city, buddy.
City
Good to see you, buddy.
How you doing?
We're just talking. We're in the
How's
Steve
it
here.
going, man?
Buddy.
Some of his boys here.
This is Charlie.
You guys planning a movie that I'm not in?
No, no, no.
I think I got your part in The Cobbler. Guess you were unavailable.
Yeah, that's not the first time that's happened, actually.
Well, I know.
This has never actually played out in front of me.
I've lost parts to him before. One part.
That doesn't sound nice. He's a very talented guy.
But you're doing all right. You're doing all right.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I mean, I'm on a city bike.
Yeah,
So-
well, we were just talking about city bikes. We hear it's going under. Have you heard that?
No, are you serious?
Yeah, they're kind of losing money.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that true?
You didn't hear this? Yeah.
I did not. I haven't
That's terrible news.
Maybe you can go on
terrible.
a one-man campaign.
I will. Every time I get on the city bike, I like hum a song.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I love it that much, bro. I take it everywhere.
Like you've made up a song?
Yeah, like I get on it and I'm like, fucking city bike, city bike.
Bobby, what does the bell sound?
I don't use the bell.
You don't use the bell.
All right, you do the New York bell.
Yeah.
Go! You know, it's better than the bell.
Yeah, yeah. Did you see these guys? Did you see the movie The Station Agent?
Yes, I did.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's the first time I ever noticed your work. Did you audition for that movie?
No, we met doing a play, like 3 years before that. So like 16 years ago or something like that.
Yeah.
A new Lanford Wilson play, and we didn't really get along for like in the very beginning. And then
Tom's a little hard to get along with.
I'm distant at first.
Yeah, he's
Cold even.
it's cold.
It takes a while to warm up.
Yeah.
You wrote The
Yeah, I
Station
wrote it.
Agent.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you write it with Bobby in mind?
I did, yeah. I was calling him to ask him some questions about Cuban cuisine. And I called him and I said, what's something your mother always used to make that you liked? And he said,
Yeah, like bacalao.
and I said, thank you, I'll call you later. And I hung up.
And like the third time he called me, I was like, dude, what are you doing? Are you writing something?
Then he kept calling me. I said, no, don't worry about it. I'll call you later. And then he called me about a half hour later. He said, no, I'm just curious.
But we did like readings of that thing for years, man. That took forever. So when we finally made it, it was like 15 days or something, or 16 days, and it was just, oh wow, we're getting to do it. We didn't expect anything really.
What made you want to direct a movie after having, I mean, you had a pretty good acting career.
I was always writing, and I was writing that script, and I could kind of see the movie, and I thought, why not? What's the worst that could happen? And I couldn't imagine turning it over at that point.
You never thought of any other director?
I never did, no. No, I didn't know many directors at the time, though, so maybe that's part of it. I think you have to know some. I don't think that occurred to me.
You do plays all the time.
Yeah, I tried to.
Why? Why do some actors always feel like the need to be doing a play?
Part of it is out of necessity in the sense that, like, I get better parts in the theater. You know, I can play great roles in the theater that I don't necessarily get the opportunity to do in movies.
Right.
And I like rehearsing a play, like that whole arc of the rehearsal where everybody doesn't know each other too well, and you're sort of creeping around the thing, and then you get to the thing, and then people sort of join you on the journey. And I like that whole experience that you don't get to have, on a movie or on a TV show, really hardly ever. And, people who don't do theater always ask me, how could you do the same thing every night? But I don't know, I guess unless you do it, you don't really quite get that it's not the same thing every night,
And it's not the same thing every night because the audience is different?
I think
or do you
that
discover new things?
Yeah, I think everybody brings in whatever they bring in the day, and it sort of vomits itself out on the stage, There really is an energy that's a very sort of in-the-room energy that I think the audience is sort of takes part in. There's a communion of sorts that happens that creates the amazing thing that's live theater to me. I just love it,
Do you want to get back to stage?
In theory, yeah, but I get very nervous. It's not like movies where, you do a scene and then you can do it over. There's that, like, anxiety I get that I'm really gonna screw up and that I'm gonna forget stuff.
And does it go away once you're up?
Yes, it does. but I have not learned to trust that it'll be okay. I mean, a little bit. It's a little bit like, we talked about this with wrestling. Did you ever see the movie Win-Win?
No, I haven't.
Ah, it's a good movie. Bobby's in that one, too.
Yeah, high school wrestling, like, you
High
know.
school wrestling. Did you ever wrestle?
No.
No? All right.
Not for money.
I should have.
But I found the same thing. I would get so nervous. Yeah, and then you get out there, and it goes by like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You seem so calm right now because I'm editing the Cobbler that you're in.
Yeah.
You're an immensely cuttable actor because you're so calm. You're so
Cuttable. What is that?
They can cut you out.
Meaning some actors are harder to cut because they're all over the place, and it doesn't mean they're not exciting at times, but they're incredibly not only being connected, but you're very technically sound, and you always seem so calm.
Yeah, maybe because I've been doing movies longer.
On Boardwalk it was the same thing. I mean, he's got
Steely.
the whole show on his shoulders, and he's the calmest guy on the set. It was a pretty chill set anyway, but when you started making movies, were you a little more amped up?
Yeah, I'm sure I was. I think playing a character for this long, it's nice because you do start to feel it and not have to think about it, you know. And then it's always great to have somebody like you come in the show. Whenever I talk to anybody about the show, they're always like, hey, that Jip Rossetti, wow. They never say anything about Nucky. It's like, they're
afraid of you.
Jip Rossetti, he was gonna get you. He was, yeah. And
I know, I always tell
congratulations,
people.
by the way.
Thanks, buddy.
The only actor on that show to win an Emmy. It's cool. I'm sorry, I cut you off. What were you going to say?
Well, I was just going to say that,
He was going to say the same thing. Yeah.
I was going to say, and I won the Emmy.
He's just about to get
I don't know if your buddies knew that.
We should take another minute with that. Anyone out there not know that?
How do you deal with actors who are different? Like, if, you know, one actor's great on the first take, another actor doesn't get good until like, like the fourth or fifth.
Yeah, it's tricky. One actor I can deal with is when you have to deal with a couple actors in the scene. They have different approaches, and sometimes that's tricky. And it's sort of, you know, you feel like a little bit of a coach or a player coach sort of managing those personalities and making sure that everyone's playing nicely and getting along. So as long as all the actors are getting along, usually good things will happen.
It doesn't always happen.
It's when it doesn't happen. Like you and Tambor.
Yeah, you and Tambor almost got into a fight.
I think they almost got in a
Really?
fight. Now, wouldn't you pay to see
Hilarious.
Jeffrey Tambor and him in a fight?
Yeah.
Jeffrey Tambor to this day, like once or twice a year, the only time I hear from him, he'll text me, I can't remember what we fought about. And we literally had a fight where he walked away and he was like, well, fuck you. And I was like, well, fuck you. And he was like, in front of all these kids. It was horrible. It was horrible. It was horrible.
That's an example of funny what goes wrong.
Well, what was the fight about?
It wasn't what we thought it was about. I think the origin of it, I'll just say, started with a fart. And then we made it about something else.
I think we had a question about your last name, though, because there seems to be some confusion.
How to say it?
Yeah,
Cannavale.
yeah, that's what I said.
Cannavale.
It's not Cannavale, it's not Carnivale, there's no R.
There's no R. That's a common.
That's a common mistake. Although we think, I don't know who we is because I didn't really talk to anybody about this, but the couple of people who've given me their opinion on it have said that actually Carnivale is an actual name, that it might have gotten switched as they did many times over on the boat here.
Right.
In which case, Carnivale, I believe, is like Valley of Meat or something. Yeah,
That's an
Valley of
auspicious
Meat.
name.
just saying.
Did not know that.
Or
your
Meat
My
Valley.
name. My
Meat
name.
Valley.
Meat Valley.
Meat Valley. Actually,
People screw that up, right?
Buscemi. Somewhere down the line, it means butcher.
Oh.
Hey.
Butcher. Yeah.
Oh, but now I've always wanted to ask you this. I've always said your name Buscemi,
Yeah.
but when we do the table read and you
know, I
introduce
say
yourself, you say
Buscemi.
Buscemi.
Yeah.
So is that how you like it said?
It's only that's what I'm used to saying.
Yeah.
And in fact, growing up, it was Buscemi. You know, that's how my dad pronounced it. Now,
Right.
I think it's because, you know, when his parents came over, they really tried hard to assimilate, and they didn't want to sound so Italian. I mean, there was a time when, you know, you didn't have all this Italian-American pride, you know.
That's right.
And they really tried to Americanize the name. So I grew up saying Buscemi, which is something, I have trouble saying it because I stutter sometimes. And I'm going to be revealing a lot to you guys here. So, like, when I would first be trying to get jobs, I had trouble saying Buscemi. It was easier to say Buscemi, because I would always stumble on my own name, and I thought that's not a good sign.
Not good, yeah.
If you can't say your own name,
Yeah,
it doesn't
right.
exude confidence. So I say Buscemi. But I like Buscemi. It's so I
Ever
never
since you've
correct
been saying
anybody.
Buscemi, now I correct everybody who calls you Buscemi.
I know.
And you
I don't want to do that
doesn't
anymore.
sound
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Right,
But you know, that's funny, that thing about assimilation, because actually my dad was born here, but his parents and his grandparents were born in Italy, and he said Cannavale. And I remember even as a kid being like, that's not right.
Right.
And it was totally because they didn't want to sound too Italian.
Right. McCarthy, there's just one way to
Straight
say
up.
that. It's just, yeah.
Straight up McCarthy, yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit of anger. You say it with just a little angry. It helps.
I'm glad we cleared that up.
Yeah.
Now, this is, I feel like we really accomplished something here.
Way more than I planned on accomplishing
Yeah.
this morning, which is good. Which is good.
I gotta have this thing back soon because
You
or
gotta
else they
have
get
this
You're
thing
only
charged.
here 1 hour.
You only have an hour, and then they give
All
you,
right.
they charge you a little surcharge. I'm gonna bust this up because I don't want to get hit with the $6.
Well, thank you, Bobby.
Good to see you. Good luck with
good running
everything.
into you
Yeah.
guys.
I'm glad you
All right,
stopped.
Bobby, have a good day, man.
Hey, nice to see you. Cool. Take it easy, huh?
Be good.
Where are you going anyway?
I'm not going to yoga.
Oh, okay.
He's not going to yoga.
By the way, it feels weird having done this and not having been on the bench.
Well,
Can
here,
we
you
just
can,
sit for
yeah,
just
yeah,
a second?
please, sit
Just-
down,
No,
sit down.
I gotta go.